everybody, and welcome back to Animal Liberation TV. So, I was doing some sorting out again, and I came across my letters from Barry Horne when he was in prison during his 18-year sentence. Now, I was thinking it's such a shame, and I got it out and I read it, and I thought, oh, I'm going to do an episode just reading this letter out. And it's a shame that my letters from like 30 years ago, I used to have like dozens and dozens of letters from Barry 30 years ago, but I had loads of the old prisoners' letters. I used to write to lots of prisoners when I was in prison myself, or when I was on bail for a couple of years under house arrest. Wasn't much else to do, plus I knew that they'd appreciate it, and a lot of them were my friends as well. So, but I kind of, over the many decades of kind of, like everything, sorted stuff out and got rid of it. I got rid of a lot of those letters like 30 odd years ago, which is a shame. I wish I'd kept them all now. But anyway, regardless of that, I thought I'd share this one with you. You can see here, it's got his address. He's written Barry Horne, BC 2141, his prisoner number. So I'll skip out little paragraphs of personal stuff, because obviously you're not going to be interested in that. But I thought it's quite a long letter, this one, and I thought I'd share it because it kind of shows a lot about Barry's personality, and also it shows the more kind of the funny, comedic side of him, and how much he seemed to enjoy being banged up. That's when he's at his happiest. But anyway, it shows kind of a bit of another side to him from the side that we know of him 98% of the time, which is sort of very serious all the time. Anyway, so dear Max, hiya now, mate. How's it all going? Hope you're well and not doing anything I wouldn't do, which don't leave much really. Cheers for the letter, and nice to know you don't only write to me when I'm actually dying. Because he'd just come off. This was, by the way, sent to me in the summer of 1997, which was after he'd done his first hunger strike in January and February 97. And he'd been arrested in, I think it was November 96. So after a couple of months of being on remand in Bristol, he did most of his, or all of his remand in Bristol. After a couple of months, he went on that 35-day hunger strike, the first one, which covered a lot in podcast 3, of course, if you follow my channel. And this is the period after that 35-day hunger strike, after the first hunger strike. So it's quite an interesting time period for us to sort of get a little glimpse of what Barry was up to, his state of mind. Bloody good when you have to half kill yourself to get a letter off people, haha. Well, as you can see, if you've got a bloody good telescope, let's face it, Manchester is a long way from Bristol. In fact, civilization is a long way from Bristol. I think it means the prison, really. I'm now fully recovered from the horrendous shock to my internal organs of my recent heroic ordeal. What's that? Hunger strike? No, I'm not talking about that. I meant the shock of eating the food here again after 35 days of blissful starvation. It was no problem surviving the hunger strike, but the food they slop up here nearly finished me off, ha ha. Enough of this light-hearted banter though, eh? Heard about that new film, Nightmare on G-Wing, HMP Bristol Servery? I wouldn't mind so much, only I found out today that one of the punishments administered here is 7 days on a vegan diet. Bloody hell, what are they trying to say? So how's everything with you, Max? I've been hearing all the stories about you, but I won't go into that now, haha. You know me, I never pass on gossip. Make it up? Yes, but never pass it on. Tell everyone on the phone? Yes. Write it all in letters to people? Yes. Tell everyone on visits? Yes. Shout it out my cell window? Yes. But nothing else. Your secrets are safe with me, Max. That should get him thinking. What's this bit in your letter about when you met up with the Northampton crowd and naturally we were all talking about you? No wonder my ears were burning and I had stabbing pains between my shoulder blades then. There's nothing natural about it, mate. Although everybody does it, and as soon as I get out of here, I'm sorting them all out. No, I haven't got 15 new charges. Well, not yet anyway, haha. Stop crying there, will you, Bazza? Actually, I've got 8 lovely new charges and am now on 13 super duper 15 to 20 years in the slammer charges. Who cares, eh? Don't worry, mate. All the 8 new charges are courtesy of Hampshire Constabulary, and let's face it, they'd be struggling to get a conviction on riding your push bike at night with no lights. Picture the scene at Hampshire Crown Court. Top Hampshire sleuth DCI Noddy in the box. Yes, Your Honour, he'd done it all right. Judge. Good, good. Now, where's the evidence? DCI Noddy. Evidence? Judge. Yes, evidence. You must have some evidence. DCI Noddy. Oh, no, Your Honour, we don't need any of that. He definitely did it, I can promise you that. Which is kind of what they said about the Isle of Wight with Barry. Should be fun, eh, kiddies? Tune in next week to see how your favourite bobbies on the beat fuck up yet another case. Smiley face. Oh, incidentally, I've got a trial date of November the 3rd now. That's 6 months away, so it might not be that by then, but I've got no problem with people coming along for a day out at the trial. I'm hoping it's going to be fun because I hate those trials where everybody's being nasty and you have to give the prosecutor a slap before they drag you off and the judge is banging his hammer on the bench and you have to threaten to shove it up his ass and make childish comments about men who wear wigs and weird clothes and stuff. Don't you? It's so unpleasant, and after all, a British court of law is there for justice, so what more could we want, eh? A fair trial. No, you're just being silly there, Max. And the thing is, when he's saying about don't you hate people kicking off in the courtroom and making a fuss, that's him having a little jibe at me because of when I got sent down at the Manchester trial. I think I might have mentioned before, I called the judge a few things and they carted me off. So he's having a little pop about my behaviour. Then he's talking about a couple of other people that did hunger strikes, I think, including Tony Wong and Jeff Shepherd, who's a bit of a legend. I haven't mentioned him much in this channel yet, but I will do at some point. Did you hear that the police battered a 70-year-old woman unconscious at Consort or possibly Gilders? I think it might have been Gilders. Gilders was a live transporter haulage company that used to do a lot of the transporting of live exports during the live exports protests of kind of 94, 95, 96. That sort of big live exports era, which I've mentioned before on the channel, which was huge and is covered in Jill's film, which is podcast, is it number 5 maybe? Apparently they were doing their usual impersonation of impartial policing by spraying CS gas in everyone's faces and whacking people with batons. But oh dear, it was all caught on video. I'm pretty sure that was Gilders. That was horrific, that video. So police spraying loads of people in the face. I think we can both imagine the court case on that one. When PC Plod, 6 foot 6 inches, 13 stone, informs the court that he was violently attacked by Mrs. X, 70 years old, 5 foot tall, 7 stone, and wringing wet, and fearing for his life, was forced to batter her senseless with his shiny new telescopic baton. I mean, you know, it's not funny, this poor lady getting battered, but I think Barry's making quite a good joke about, you know, like, how the fuck can you defend that sort of action? You know? Anyway, last I heard, she was okay, so that's one good thing. Yeah, bless her. And, you know, there's a few people, I remember some older people getting hurt at a Shamrock demo I was at. I think some 70-year-old guy had his hip broken there or something, and I think there was a few older people at Hillgrove on various demos, especially the big riot which I featured in Agenda 2022 Part 3. That's the Hillgrove Farm riot, which I'm going to talk about at some point very soon in a little bit. And another bit of good news is Gordon Gilder nearly got his thumb bitten off. Gordon Gilder was one of the brothers who ran this live exports haulage company, when he got beaten up along with his son Sean. Tut tut, eh? What is the world coming to when you can't even beat up two peaceful protesters without a load of mass thugs turning up the following week and beating you up and trying to bite your thumb off as well? Smiley face. Right, well, I'm off now then, Max, and I'll bet you're pleased to hear that. Take it easy now and watch your back. There's no more room in mine for people to stab me. For the cause or summit, love and peace, Barry. Go on, Barry. Good old Bazza. Oh, it's nice to read that. Gave me a bit of a laugh. You know, it's good to think that 20 years after you pass away that you know, you can make people laugh. You know, and that's not something people associate with Barry Horne. You see, a sense of humour and you know, being playful sort of thing. I mean, don't forget, this is, by this point he's done about 8 months remand. He's looking at a 15 to 20 year sentence. He's got loads of charges that carry that level of sentence, and he's basically been something like 23-hour bang up in Bristol prison on remand. So I think he was doing quite well considering all of those factors, and you know, he went on to do even crazier things after that, didn't he? Of those next 2 years, which we all know about. So, as always, God bless Barry, and I hope you all feel a little bit closer to him by me sharing my personal letters with him, with you, from him, and I hope you feel like you've got to know a little bit more, maybe another little side to him, and that you realise that, you know, he had good friendships with people and stuff, and he's very, very, very sorely missed still to this day. And it might be 20 odd years since he passed away, but in many senses, reading that, you know, he feels like he's his mate. I mean, his face is splattered around everywhere in this Barry Horne HQ, as I call it, which is even named after him. Anyway, there we go. Never forgotten Barry Horne.